Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and this is the deck build for my YOKAIJU deck, a deck which is one of my favorites to run in the current environment and combines two really cool engines, one which has completely revitalized the way Yosenju's run. It combines a Kaiju and a Yosenju engine. Yosenjus are monsters which are all about swarming the field but through normal summons and not special summons. What's really great about this is one of their best cards is Kama number 1, which can target a card on the field and bounce it back to its controller's hand. What's also really good is the Kaiju monsters. Kaijus are the best form of targeted monster removal in the current day and age. You just choose your opponent's monster, tribute it, and give them a monster they might not want to have, especially if you have something like Gameciel, which is pretty weak. Why this works so well with Yosenjus is because Yosenjus can bounce the monsters that you send to your opponent's side of the field back to their hand with Kama 1, and Kama 1 is searchable in many ways. Plus, seeing as Yosenjus come back to your hand in the end phase, you normally don't have a wide open field, so playing cards like Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, which destroys all monsters on the field, and then special summons 2 Kaijus to the field, doesn't really hurt you too much. It's a really good deck. I really love the synergy between these decks, and let's get to the deck build. So the Kaiju engine is as follows. We have 6 Kaiju monsters, we have 3 Kaijus that you want to have, and 3 Kaijus that you want to give to your opponent. The ones that you want to have are Duelist, 3000 attack, Gardala, which is also 2700 attack, and then we have Gameciel. The reason why we run these ones is because they're all level 8, and that means they're all fodder for trading. Trading actually works really well in this deck because you have a level 8 monster which is searchable from your deck, can be bounced back to your hand, and then you can discard it for trading. So having trading with Kaiju in this deck works out really well. Duelist is your strongest one, followed by 2 copies of Gandala, but then and normally you want to give your opponent Gameciel, but the reason why we're not just doing 3 copies of Duelist because you don't want to run into a situation where, say, you only have 2 Duelists left in your deck and you can only give them a 3000 attack monster. You want to have a bit of variety to play that out. But other than that, they do have extra effects, but mostly this is all just about removing your opponent's monsters, bouncing them back to your hand, and then discarding them for draw fodder. On to the next monsters, we have Speedboy Menko at 3. Speedboy Menko is a really cool win monster. When your opponent declares a direct attack while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card in attack position and change all face-up monsters to your opponent controls in defense position. Works really well with Yosenjus because Yosenjus come back to your hand. Normally you can have an empty field unless you've already XE summoned, but then this can be used as fodder for an XE summon later on. Plus, being a win monster means it can go into great cards like Lightning Chidori or Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon. Next we have the Yosenju engine. We have 3 Yosenju Kama 1s, which are the monsters that bounce other cards back to the field, from your opponent's side of the field to your hand. 3 copies of Kama 2, which is really there because it's another Kama. Its effect is okay, it can attack directly, but it's nothing really amazing. It does have the highest natural attack, but other than that, it's just another Kama. And Kama 3, which is your searcher for the deck. When another Kama attacks and does damage to your opponent, you can search out a Kama monster from your deck and add it to your hand. So Kama 3, ideally you will search out maybe another Kama 1, or maybe you can even search out another Kama 3. No, you can't search out Kama 3 again, but this helps you just speed up your deck a little bit, and it's a really good searcher. Then we have Sujik at 1. Sujik is a hand trap and a monster that you can summon to the field. If you summon it to the field or if you discard it from your hand, either way it gives a monster you control 1000 attack. So you can do it for either your Senjus, or you can either use it on other monsters if you discard it. No, you can't, sorry. You can only use it on your Senju monsters, but if you can normal summon it, then you can increase the attack and keep him on the field, or you can discard it from your hand and use it as a surprise against your opponent. Now the rest of the cards in this deck are a combination of searchers, removal, and floodgates. The first floodgate we have is Dimensional Fissure. Because most of your monsters are going back to your hand and not to the graveyard on purpose, unless you discard them through other effects or costs, then banishing cards that are sent to the graveyard works out fine for you because you're not really doing it too much. And so Dimensional Fissure can be really good against your opponent for that. Similarly, we have Macrocosmos for the same effect, because banishing your opponent's cards and not letting them go to the graveyard can be a really good way to disrupt their plays. We have 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki, which lets you search out a Beast Warrior, good searcher for the deck. You can search out any of your Yosenju monsters, plus Tenki is also searchable by Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. So on the first turn or so, you can even play Tenki, search out another one, and keep on searching out if that's the kind of play that works out well for you in the time being. You really want to make sure you get Kama 1 and possibly Kama 3 early as possible, so having as many search options is really important. We have 2 copies of Interactive Kaiju Slumber. Destroy as many monsters on the field as possible. Then you get to special summon 2 Kaiju monsters in attack position with different names from your deck, but they cannot change their battle positions. Please be aware, if you are playing Legacy of the Duelist to use this deck, the first card monster you choose is for you, the second monster you choose is for your opponent. So always go for your stronger monster first, then go for Gamma Seal second. 2 copies of MST for background removal, 2 copies of Necro Valley for more graveyard punishment, 2 copies of Trading for the reasons we said earlier, and onto the traps. Bottomless, Drowning Mirror Force, and Quaking Mirror Force. We have 1 Drowning Mirror Force, and I'm messing around with these ratios, so feel free to modify it, but we have 1 Drowning Mirror Force because your field can often be empty, not always empty, but often can be empty. And we have Quaking Mirror Force because it is just as disruptive as Drowning Mirror Force, although it doesn't get rid of the monsters, but it turns them face down. This is fine because then you can tribute them away with your Kaijus and stop your opponent from using them if for as long as you basically want to. We also have Lose 1 Turn. This is a really cool trap card. You activate this card as long as you control no special summon monsters, and then if any monster is face up on the field, negate its effect during the turn it was special summoned. Really good disruption, and because you normal summon so much, it doesn't really affect you too much. The only thing you got to be careful with this card is if you play it and then try to bring out a Kaiju, it will put them into defense position, and therefore you might want to modify what you give your opponent. So in this situation, you might want to give out to Goron because it has only 1200 attack, and not Gamma Seal because it has a big booty. Last couple of cards is Solemn Warning and Vanity's Emptiness for more negation and more special summon disruption, and that is the main deck. For the extra deck, it's just a variety of your typical cards. It's nothing really too special. It's just a standard rank 4 box, so go with whatever you have. But the key, most of the key cards here are Dweller for graveyard disruption, Fire Fist, Tiger King for the same reason we said earlier, Castell, Dark Rebellion Xyz I'm running because we don't really have Utopian and Lightning, so having a card which can get really strong in its attack is useful. Evil Swarm Ouroboros, I only tested this out, I've never ever summoned it, don't really worry about it too much. It takes 3 level 4 monsters and you can target 1 card your opponent controls and return it to the hand, so you can maybe bounce a Kaiju, but and you can also send cards from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, and you can target cards in their graveyard and banish it, but I've never ever summoned it really, I've never needed to. Gagaga Cowboy, this is your game ender. Sometimes you just don't have enough damage to win the game, so you will bring out Cowboy to do the rest. Gagaga Samurai for double attacks. Again, similarly, this can help you win the game quite quickly. Harpy's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, another card which I've never summoned, but I always keep in just in case I can. And it's 3 level 4 monsters. The reason why you bring this out is because it can attack your opponent directly, and your opponent cannot target any Harpy monsters with effects or attack. But then during your end phase, you have to detach 1 card from this card. It's a good card, it stays around for a while, and being able to attack your opponent directly for 2000 attack can be quite good and can win games for you. We have Zerofied Ice Beast. This allows you to negate the effects of as many face-up cards on your opponent controls as possible. This can be kind of a niche card. Sometimes you run into those weird quirky decks in Legacy of the Duelist, and if your opponent is running Floodgates or other things that stops you from attacking, this could be the way to get over it, although it's only temporarily. Yes, this is only to the end, until your next standby phase. Lightning Chidori is one of your best Xyzs that you can make in here. It's 2 level 4 win monsters. When it is summoned, you take 1 card on the field that is set and return it to the bottom of your opponent's deck. Then you can detach 1 card from this card and target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and return it to the top of their deck. Solid card, great removal, really good thing to use. Silent Honor Arc, Ragnar Zero, again, more of this, they're just for fodder. Rhapsody and Berserk for more graveyard disruption, as if though we didn't need more. And Trap Tricks for Felsia because she's a good first turn card, and we only have Bottomless Trap Hole, but on the first turn this is an alternative that you might want to make in case you don't need to make Tiger King, so it's there for their reasons. Anyway, that's my YOKAIJU deck. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Feel free to use it as much as you want. Works out really well. Can catch a lot of people off guard. I love playing it. It's my favorite deck right now. And let me know what your experiences is or are and your thoughts on the build. If you ever want to play against me, then my PSN username is TheArnold'sPlay, and feel free to check out the link in the description of the video to see some gameplay of this video. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.